You're watching The American on ESPN+. Beautiful night in Tampa, Florida. Is it the last time Alex Golesh leads the Bulls into Raymond James Stadium? We shall see, as South Florida is set to take on the Rice Owls just moments away from kickoff. Good evening, everybody. Alongside Patrick Murray Jr., I'm Eric Rothman. Savannah Collins on the sidelines with us today. Before we get to Coach Golesh and the Bulls, let's start with the Rice Owls, Patrick. They run the ball, and they run it a lot, 70% of the time. Quentin Jackson's the guy who takes the workload for them.
Rice runs a shotgun triple option attack, and Quentin Jackson is the first option for the Owls. He's not a big guy at 160 pounds, but he can slip through those small spaces between defenders. Then he's got the speed to take it to the house when he gets in the open field. He can catch it out of the backfield as well. Had a big receiving game against UConn, so look for him there.
For USF, their offense comes from their quarterback, Byram Brown. He holds 15 records in the USF books.
And Byram Brown, such a dynamic athlete, got a strong arm, but his running ability really makes him special. He looks like a running back out there with his moves, his strength, and his vision.
Well, we mentioned the coaching carousel. It's already begun. Rumors have already swirled about Alex Golesh, the USF head coach. For more on that, we send it down to the sidelines with Savannah Collins.
Gosh, what a week it has been. First, I'll take you back to Wednesday. That was when it was first reported that Coach Golesh was in the running for the Arkansas opening. Now, when we talked to him that morning, he told us he hadn't been in contact with his agent all season, that he was focused on finishing this season at South Florida undefeated at home. Since then, there's new horses to ride in that coaching carousel. Just this morning, Pete Thamel reported on College Game Day that Golesh is also in consideration for the Auburn job and possibly Ole Miss. Hey, it's a fluid situation, and we'll dive in more as the night goes on.
Savannah, thank you. We will wait and watch as the dominoes start to fall, as rumors swirling like the wind here at Raymond James Stadium. Rice has won the toss, and they will receive their head coach, Scott Abel. He's not going anywhere, Pat. He's in his first year, and he's got his team with a win today in bowl eligibility. That would be a big step for him in year number one.
That would be huge for Rice. I mean, Scott Abel told us that he feels like his program is on schedule right now in its development in year one, and if they were able to get a win tonight and get to a bowl game, he feels like they would be ahead of schedule. Those 15 extra practices would be a huge help for Rice.
66 degrees, partly cloudy here at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. You heard Savannah mentioned it. If Rice wants to get that 6th win of the year, they're going to have to do what nobody has done this year, Pat, and that is come in to Raymond James Stadium and walk away with a victory.
South Florida has been so good here at home. The closest win they've had was against Boise State, a 27-point win in the first game of the season.
Looking for their first home undefeated season since 2002, as Quentin Jackson lets that kick careen over his head off the foot of Adam Zuagi. And it'll be Rice football in the white uniforms, the silver helmets, and Chase Jenkins, young man, redshirt sophomore. He's got a lot to deal with in that triple option.
And Jenkins is kind of like a basketball point guard. He's back there distributing the ball to all different kinds of guys. He's got to read some unblocked defenders. It takes a while to learn how this offense operates, but he's starting to get in a groove here at the end of the season.
He was recruited as a quarterback out of Katy, Texas, switched to wide receiver last year. Now he's back under center for the Owls in head coach Scott Abel's first season, and he will keep it himself, a pickup of 2 on 1st and 10.
We'll take a look at our impact players. Rice loves to run the football, so they're going to have to lean on the offensive line. Starts with Sean Sullivan, their grad transfer tackle from Yale. And then for South Florida, Mac Harris, their veteran 6th-year senior at linebacker. He creates all kinds of havoc, interceptions, forced fumbles, sacks. Look for number 24 in black.
Harris, a Sporting News midseason All-American, had a 93-yard interception return for a touchdown earlier this season, a USF record. And that is a sack on play number 2 as Chase Jenkins goes down in the backfield, a loss of 7.
Josh Selisgar, the big man up front, cleaning things up on the right side of the screen. He's just unblocked, and Jenkins can't get away from him. Selisgar with the big-time sack, and 3rd and long is not where Rice wants to be. They don't throw it often.
Second sack of the season for Celiscar. You mentioned Rice doesn't throw it out often. They only average 97 yards passing per game this year, and the flags come flying before the snap.
False start. Offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty. It's third down.
Referee Matt Overton making his first call. It's on Natani Fahoku, the right guard. And so we'll be even further on third down as the Rice offense struggling here on their opening drive. Jenkins will hand it off. Quentin Jackson gets some positive yards, but it'll be a net negative on the drive for Rice, and they'll be forced to put it away.
That's a really tough start for Rice. I mean, they wanted to come into this game and control the line of scrimmage and control the clock, and not doing so well in both of those categories early on here.
So a 3-and-out brings in the punter, Alex Baqueta, who's booted it over 50 yards 13 times this year and has a 45-yard average. They need a good one to avoid letting USF start in plus territory. That is not a great punt. Skips over midfield, gets a beneficial roll for the Owls, and will be downed at the USF 42, and that's where the Bulls will start their first offensive drive after a punt of 41 yards.
It all starts with Byron Brown, the dynamic quarterback, the only player in the country with more than 2,800 passing yards and 900 rushing yards. He can do it all for South Florida.
Yeah, if he reaches
10-yard penalty from the end of the kick, first down.
And a penalty there on USF. You mentioned those numbers for Byron Brown. If he were to exceed 3,000 yards passing and 1,000 yards rushing, both of those in play here today, he would be just the 12th ever in FBS history to hit that in a career.
And 4 of those guys are Heisman Trophy winners.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a great list to be on, and it just shows you the type of player that Byron Brown is, a future NFL quarterback.
In a season, I should say, which is even more impressive. So first down and 10 for USF on their opening drive. They average 42 points per game on the year as Nakai Davenport, the redshirt freshman, gets a good chunk there on first down, a gain of 6.
Looking at our impact players here, Keyshawn Singleton at wide receiver for South Florida. He's their deep threat. Tony Nyenwu for Rice is their best pass rusher, leads the American with 39 quarterback pressures this season.
No gain for Davenport on second down. And you see USF with some tempo here, getting to the line, trying to catch Rice off guard. USF, they don't hold the ball very much, but they score a lot of points.
That's a big part of South Florida's offensive identity. They want to go as fast as possible with their tempo.
550 yards of total offense in 7 of their last 8 games. Brown looking to throw for the first time, nearly wrapped up, scampering at his own 30-yard line. Now shovels it ahead to the open man. It's Davenport out of the backfield, across midfield for a Bulls first down.
That is special stuff from Byron Brown. We just talked about our impact player, Tony Nyenwu. Bottom of the screen, 26. He comes right around the edge, almost gets Brown, but he dances out of it and then reverses field and finds an open receiver.
15-yard catch and run for Davenport, and now here's Keyshawn Singleton getting some yards after contact before he is gang tackled at the Rice 44-yard line, a pickup of 4 on first down.
Singleton was a big part of that win in the Swamp when South Florida beat the Gators, had a 66-yard touchdown catch in that game.
Handoff to Davenport on 2nd and 6. Pushes ahead, still be a couple yards short after picking up 4, but boy, Byron Brown gets this offense to the line quickly.
Yeah, they really like to go fast. It's 2nd in the country in terms of tempo behind Florida Atlantic.
They're 2nd in the country in terms of average total offense on the year, just under 500 yards per game, as they'll get a first down there, a 5-yard pickup. And the USF march continues deeper into Rice territory. The 3rd all-time meeting between these two teams. It's a drop pass, good help on the far side. As Marcus Williams and, Jarek Harper getting his hand in on the play.
You see the numbers for South Florida's offense, 5th in the country in scoring. You look at the time of possession. If you ask Alex Golish about time of possession, he said, that is useless. I don't want to hear about it at all. They're going to go as fast as possible, try to score as many points as possible. And it's worked pretty well for Golish and the Bulls.
2nd down and 10 from the Rice 35-yard line. Brown, design quarterback run. Across the 20 and down inside the 15-yard line. A 21-yard scamper for Byron Brown as he gets even closer to that 1,000-yard rushing mark.
Got a nice block from his tight end, Jonathan Eccles, out in front there to let him pick up that 1st down.
Harper made the tackle to throw to the end zone. Back shoulder is incomplete and out of bounds as Jeremiah Koger, the freshman from Baltimore, was the intended target. He's had 6 touchdowns in his last 7 games. Looking for number 7 there, but out of bounds.
A pretty good coverage there from Jarek Harper at corner to get physical and make sure he couldn't get the foot down.
10th play of this drive, 2nd and 10. Handoff to Davenport, fighting through traffic, tripped up and taken down at about the 8-yard line, a 6-yard gain on 2nd down.
And this is the area of the field where they really like to use Brown's legs.
They'll go to Davenport again, near the 1st down line to gain. They'll spot him at the 5-yard line, be about a yard short. So decision time here for Alex Golish.
They're going.
There's no decision, Pat. They're going for it. 4th down. Brown lobs it to the end zone. Wide receiver falling, flags flying, touchdown is the call as Byron Brown connects to Keyshawn Singleton for the score.
Defense, number 27.
Jack Kane, the safety, called for the hold. Obviously declined. 6 points on the board for the Bulls.
They get Brown on the move on the edge, and that was the previous play where Davenport is just short of the 1st down, and the Bulls go tempo, line up real quick, and find the open receiver in Singleton.
Nico Gramatica for the point after, son of legend Martin Gramatica. Nico's got a good leg just like his dad. 12-play, 68-yard drive. Byron Brown connects with Keyshawn Singleton. USF up by 7 early. 12 plays, 68-yard scoring drive for USF. The 7th touchdown of the year for Keyshawn Singleton in Savannah. Keyshawn's a big target in more ways than one for Byron Brown down there for the Bulls.
Yeah, big target also in size. He wears a 14.5 size shoe. Now he was listed as wearing a 3 extra large glove. I'll show you these guys. 4XL. These are crazy. Now, I don't think I have tiny hands, but I'm just going to compare. Look at these things. It just shows you the work that he's put in. He's put in almost 30 pounds since arriving in Tampa. He's faced a ton of injuries, and Coach told us all he needed was some time to practice, and that light went off.
Savannah, I tell you what, take those gloves, drive about an hour and a half to Disney World, and you could go fill in for Mickey Mouse after this game is over.
Yeah, for sure. Those are huge. You got to big hands like that. You can make those type of touchdown catches when you're falling down in the back of the end zone with a defender pulling on you.
Singleton now 20 yards away from cracking into the top 5 all-time in receiving yards in a single season for USF. He's got 761 total yards on the year. It'll be a touchback, and the Rice offense will come out for a second time today. Pat, what'd you see in the first drive from Rice? What do they need to do differently? Because it didn't go very well the first time.
The Owls really cannot get behind the sticks like they did with that sack on second down. Got to keep those positive plays going. If you get some negative plays, it puts them in a bad position because they don't throw the ball a whole lot. Rice really needs to control that line of scrimmage and get a positive gain on first and second down.
-3 total yards on the first drive for Rice's offense. There is the flip. Out to Aaron Turner, the grad transfer, has spent a couple years at the University of Cincinnati. Picks up 7 yards after his first touch of the game.
And there's a little triple option for you right there. Chase Jenkins flipping it out to Turner, former UConn wide receiver, playing the slot position in Scott Abel's offense here at Rice.
Rice would like to slow the tempo down if they could. Keep that USF defense out on the field as much as possible. The handoff is to Jackson on second down and 3. And he is stopped immediately. Jalen Schuler, the linebacker, got the best of him.
Schuler, one of those veteran guys in the middle, along with Mac Harris. Just reading that one well, flying in there. This is a violent and nasty USF defense under defensive coordinator Todd Orlando.
Schuler, a 2-time American Defensive Player of the Week this year, came over from Coffeyville Community College and has made a name for himself in the linebacking core for USF. Keeping it himself, it's Jenkins. Room to run across midfield and out of bounds past the 40-yard line. A big chunk pickup for Jenkins, 29 yards on the run.
A triple option right there. Jenkins makes a good read. He's going to keep it, reads the defensive end crashing down, and then they take away the pitch man. So Jenkins says, all right, I've got some space here. Takes the first down and picks up a chunk.
Jenkins still has yet to throw the ball today, but now he is over 500 yards rushing for the season after that first down pickup. Rice coming off a loss last week to North Texas, 56-24. Here's the first pass attempt from Jenkins over the middle, and well defended across the middle by Ben Knox.
Rice will throw in a pass here and there. They try to lull you to sleep, and if you're crashing down expecting the run, they try to go play action and pop one over the top of your head. But South Florida did a good job there of paying attention, staying home, and Knox makes the play.
Second down and 10, 7:33 to go here in the opening quarter at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. First time Rice has been in USF territory. Jenkins, little shoulder shake, faking the pitch to Turner, will keep it himself. Pickup of 5 yards.
And Rice is going to be the opposite of South Florida in terms of tempo. They really want to slow it down, protect their defense a little bit, not let South Florida's offense get going with a bunch of quick drives.
34 yards on the ground so far for Rice today. They average 218 yards on the ground per game this year. Have not done great converting on third down. You saw the stat there, 36% conversion rate on the year. Turner in motion. Jenkins has him if he wants him. Late flip to Turner. It's around the corner, and he'll pick up the first down.
A triple option on that play. This is how it works. Scott Abel running it. The first option is to hand it off up the middle on the inside zone to Quentin Jackson. You get some double teams from the O-line. Rice hopes to get a run like that straight up the middle. If that's not there, then the second option is the pitch. When you get Chase Jenkins on the edge, he pitches it to Aaron Turner if the defense isn't taking him. But the third option is the keep for Jenkins. If they take away the pitch to Turner, then Jenkins will keep it, find some space, scores a touchdown on that play. We saw him have a long run on a keeper early in this drive.
First down pickup, 6 yards by Turner. And the handoff is to DeAndre Hardman, freshman from Houston. And Abel, you mentioned Scott Abel, Pat, in his first year with Rice, he has run this offense everywhere he's been. He's the winningest coach in Davidson's history. He was there for 7 years before coming over to Rice, two-time Pioneer League Coach of the Year. And this is his offense. He's comfortable with it. And now it's just a matter of getting the right players into this program to run the offense that he wants to execute. Chase Jenkins seems to be pretty darn good at it so far in year one. Turner on the flip, pushed out of bounds. It was Mac Harris in pursuit.
And Scott Abel first started running the option when he was a high school coach in Virginia, ran the Nebraska I formation option. Another triple option play here. And they stay inside, so that tells Jenkins to pitch it out there to Turner. And they're in position here in third and manageable. This could even be 4-down territory if they don't get this one on third down.
They've already picked up 2 third downs on this drive. Just trying to get into the red zone. They're really good once they get there. 93% conversion on the year. Just outside right now, the ball spotted at the 25. Hardman. And he's going to be a yard short. Picked up 2. The freshman just couldn't get the extra couple feet he needed. 4-down territory, you are right, Patrick Murray.
Yeah, I think you definitely got to go for it here. I mean, if Rice is going to win this game, they're going to need some points because South Florida is going to put them up. But 4th and 1, you're going and expect to go the big freshman Hardeman up the middle.
Settling for field goals against USF, not usually a recipe for success. Rice 17 for 30 on 4th downs this year. They need just 1 yard. 4th and 1. Turner in motion. The pitch back to Jenkins is bobbled. Jenkins picks it up, and just a broken play from the start.
And they tried to go with the flea flicker. I like it. I like the aggressiveness. Scott Abel very unhappy with the execution, but Hardeman, the freshman, just got a little too excited, kind of panicked and trying to hurry and get that pitch back there as quick as possible, and it was inaccurate, and Jenkins trying to make something out of nothing doesn't work out for the Owls.
Turnover on downs, and so USF will take over at their own 22. Up by 7 with 4:10 to go in the first when we return. Eric Rothman, Patrick Murray, Savannah Collins back with you in Tampa. Take a look at the American standings. North Texas, Navy, and Tulane all with one loss. South Florida, 2 losses in conference play this year. Rice at 2-5 in conference play, but 5-6 overall. So a win here today would get them to bowl eligibility in year number 1 for Scott Abel. Meanwhile, for USF and head coach Alex Golish, who's in his 3rd year, they have not had a 9-win season since 2017. And a win here today not only would be win number 9, would cap off an undefeated home season, which hasn't been done by the Bulls since 2002.
And South Florida, the only thing separating them from playing in the conference championship game is a 3-point loss at Memphis and a 3-point loss at Navy. Two really tough games. 2-2
in their last 4, including those 2 losses that you just mentioned. On 2nd down, it'll be a 1st down pickup of 6 yards. Kai Davenport lunges ahead.
Byron Brown gets all the headlines, but they love to run the football. South Florida is 6th in the country in yards per carry. They got a veteran offensive line, 5 grad transfers, grad students.
Brown's going to throw it this time. It's complete across midfield. It's the freshman Jeremiah Coger, who didn't have his first catch until October 3rd against Charlotte. Since then, 6 touchdowns and over 500 yards.
Yeah, Coger has really figured it out. He's really stepped up with Chaz Nimrod out. He got injured against North Texas.
Picked up 18 on that play. They followed up with a big play to Keyshawn Singleton. Singleton breaks a tackle and is into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the day. A 47-yard connection from Brown to Singleton.
There's our impact player for South Florida on offense. Good protection against just a 3-man rush, and Brown just picking apart the zone. And look at the run after the catch by Singleton. Shifty moves to dance away from the Rice defenders for his 2nd score of the night.
8th touchdown of the year for Singleton, and he's now cracked the top 5 in USF history books for receiving yards in a season. As he's up to 56 yards today and over 800 yards on the year. 14-0 USF on top. It's the Keyshawn Singleton show. A pair of touchdowns for the wide receiver.
South Florida up 14-0. Keyshawn Singleton at the bottom of the screen at wide receiver. Watch this route that he runs. Look at the move to the inside. Watch how the defender on the right of the screen reacts, and then he takes it back to the outside, wide open, and the run after the catch just outstanding from Keyshawn Singleton for his second score of the night.
4-play, 77-yard drive in just a minute and 11 seconds. Singleton's second touchdown of the night. And Nico Gramatica with the point after, his 54th point after, made this year a new USF record. They score a ton, and Nico's leg gets some workout after those touchdowns.
He's got plenty of practice with those PATs because they score so many touchdowns.
Under 3 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. You see why, Pat, that Rice was going for it on 4th down deep in USF territory on the previous drive. You're just going to try to keep pace with USF as much as you can, and to do that, you're going to have to score touchdowns.
Yeah, Scott Abel knew that Rice was going to need points, and really the blueprint for Rice to win this game was the way the game started for the Owls last week against North Texas. They had two touchdown drives that took up almost the entire first quarter, but then North Texas was able to pull away as the game went on. That game plan hasn't worked out so far tonight for Rice.
Chase Jenkins and the Rice offense back out there again. A good run on 1st down as Tyvon Byers getting the carry.
Now Byers, this is the type of guy, he almost lost the football there, but was able to hold on to it. This is the type of guy I would envision they would have running this offense in the future. I mean, a 5'10", 214-pounder at running back. That's who you usually think of for a triple option inside zone kind of running back. But Quentin Jackson's been the starter at 5'7", 160 and has played well for Rice this year.
Well, Byers now the 5th rusher of the game for Rice. Jenkins nowhere to go as he was trying to turn the corner on the outside, and Mac Harris chased him down from behind as Harris nearing 100 tackles for the year.
Mac Harris playing in his 58th game as a South Florida Bowl, tying the school record. He'll have a chance to break it in the bowl games, been a big part, and now can Chase Jenkins pick up this 1 yard for Rice.
They're 2 for 4 on 3rd down tonight. They need a yard from their own 34-yard line. The handoff inside to Byers. He pushes ahead, met by Harris, but it's enough for the 1st down, a pickup of 2, and that'll move the chains.
And the left side of that offensive line did enough there for Rice to get a push back the USF D-line a little bit and pick up that 1st down. And Rice will do a lot of movement on the O-line. They don't have a left tackle and a right tackle. They have a split tackle and a tight tackle. They usually like to put them next to the tight end or the slot guy, but they've even been moving guys around even more than that the last couple of games.
Jenkins has only thrown the ball twice, has not completed a pass yet. See the time of possession on average this year, 33 minutes a game. They like to hold it and methodically move up the field. The flip to Turner just crumbled on the near sideline. Michael Williams came over with the high tackle.
South Florida was sitting right there waiting for that triple option to come outside. They forced the pitch, and Jarvis Lee coming from his nickel spot with the initial hit, and then Williams just crushes them to finish it.
2nd down and 10 as we are under a minute to go in quarter number 1. 14 seconds on the play clock. Turner on the sweep, across the 40, picks up a 1st down into USF territory. A nice pickup for Aaron Turner, 18 yards on the end around.
And Turner got a key block from his running back, Tyvon Byers, the freshman. Did a nice job to spring him free for that big game.
5 carries, 28 yards. Excuse me, 6 carries at 36 yards for Turner. As the clock hits triple zeros, quarter number 1 is complete. South Florida, a pair of touchdown passes from Byram Brown to Keyshawn Singleton, looking for their first home undefeated season since 2002. It's a good start, up by 14 after 1. ready to start the second quarter here in Tampa. USF up 14-0. Savannah Collins down on the field with head coach Alex Golish.
Coach, you know, you said coming into this game that you were going to have to take advantage when you have possession because of how much Rice tends to hold on the ball. How pleased are you with your defense for getting them out of there quick?
Yeah, I mean, you got 2 possessions in the first quarter. You're pushing to get a third and a fourth. You want to get off the field. So we just gave up a long one there on, you know, we got to get a stop. But I think the defense has been really good. We got to continue to go. This is such a detailed game. You got to be on your assignments. They're going to test your discipline on every snap.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coach Golish in his 3rd year with USF, and obviously a lot of chatter about where he may or may not be coaching next year as Rice comes out on 1st and 10 to start the second quarter. Pat, why is he so sought after for some of these bigger, high-profile jobs?
Well, Golish knows how to build a program. He's done a great job here at South Florida. The Bulls had won 4 games in the 3 years prior to his arrival, and now Golish is looking for win number 23 this year in year 3 of the program. He's really turned this thing around, and Golish was a key part of helping Josh Heupel turn around a Tennessee program that was really struggling, get them into playoff contention.
Former offensive coordinator for the Volunteers under Coach Heupel. Chase Jenkins keeps it himself and absolutely nowhere to go. Rico Watson III wraps him up for a loss of 2.
And Rice in 3rd and long now. That's a really tough spot for them because their focus is running the football. And when you have to try and throw it on 3rd and long, especially against a South Florida team, defensive coordinator Todd Orlando likes to bring all kinds of havoc, sim pressures, and blitzes when you get to 3rd and long. But Rice, when they get in these situations, Aaron Turner is typically the go-to guy, number 1 at the top of the screen here.
Second time they've had 3rd down and 10 here in this game. Jenkins 1 for 3 passing in this game. Back to pass, loses his footing, regains it, gets some positive yardage, but just a yard or 2 and won't be enough. So a long 4th down coming at the USF 45-yard line, and you're down by 14. Your coach Scott Abel. You need points, but that's just too much to ask of your offense on 4th down.
And Rice is not built to convert a 4th and 9. I think they just have to punt here, pin South Florida deep, and hope that their defense can make some kind of play deep in their own territory.
So Alex Baqueta standing at his own 41-yard line. Line drive punt into the end zone as Joshua Porter waves it by. Touchback with 12:48 to go in the second quarter. The potent USF offense comes back out on the field when we return.
Introducing Verts. Swipe for news and highlights. Now available on the ESPN app.
Patrick Murray back here with you. Savannah Collins on the sidelines. USF on top 14-0. Their offense, Pat, comes back out on the field. We've talked about how potent they are. One thing we haven't mentioned, they average nearly 8 yards per play on first down this year. That's third in FBS. I mean, when you get huge chunks like that on first down, it just makes it so hard for defenses to deal with. They come out there, a dropped pass intended for Jaquan Smith, the junior from San Bernardino.
And when you can get that kind of chunk yardage on first down, it also helps get the tempo going for South Florida. Pick up a big positive gain, and you get the tempo moving.
Tempo in full effect here as the handoff is to Alvon Isaac, a sophomore from Gainesville, coming off a game against UAB. Only had 2 carries in that one, and he picked up 8 on second down for third and short now. 3rd and 2. Byron Brown rolling to his right, will take it himself, leans across the line to gain. Good coverage by Rice as Andrew Awe was in pursuit, but it was enough for a first down. And the chains move, and back to the line of scrimmage are the Bulls. Brown keeps it again, and it's Awe again, this time for no gain.
Awe is a guy that Rice really loves. I mean, defensive coordinator John Kay was telling us he is like a football savant. He knows even more than some of their coaches about their scheme.
Started as a walk-on and has become one of the best players on this defense. Jaquan Smith had the drop to start this drive, secures it that time, and ahead for a first down. A 10-yard pickup, and now at the USF 40, the Bulls march on. Brown back to pass. Wide open. Mudia Rubin breaks a tackle down the sideline, and Rubin, his first catch and first target of the game. It's a 60-yard touchdown for the Bulls.
Mudia Rubin coming off a career day last week, 174 yards at UAB. Just wide open on a crossing route, going across the formation, and he is so strong after the catch with the stiff arm. Gets in the end zone. He has been a big-time addition, transferred in from Stanford.
Well, head coach for Rice, Scott Abel, said we have to avoid giving up the explosive plays. Well, the last 2 touchdowns for USF has been over 45 yards, this time 60 yards to the house for Mudia Rubin. And Nico Gramatica makes it a 21-point lead for USF. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. Byron Brown's got nearly 160 yards in the air, and USF is rolling here at home. Well, Pat, a second straight week where Mudia Rubin has made a big impact for this USF offense.
Rubin with 174 yards and 2 touchdowns against UAB last week. Look at the strength right here, just bouncing off of 3 defenders. Rubin has been really special after the catch. A big guy in the slot at 6'2", 210. Look at that, just stopping on a dime and letting the defender fly by him. And then tonight, Rubin on the crossing route gets wide open, and again, the yards after the catch, 40-plus yards after the catch on this one. Tough stiff arm there to get to the end zone. And Rubin, not just a good physical football player, he is so smart. He got his degree from Stanford in 3 years, and now he's working on his master's degree in pharmaceutical nanotechnology. I didn't even know that was a thing. But
no,
it's going to help us somehow with it.
Yeah. Big smiles for Mudia Rubin, and why not on the sidelines? His 5th touchdown of the year. You mentioned he's a grad transfer from Stanford. Played only 3 games last year. His season-ending foot injury, and he's just come up so big, nearing 500 yards for this USF offense on the season. So Rice will take over. It's their 4th offensive drive of the game. They start at their own 25-yard line. Jenkins just absolutely nowhere to go as the USF defense continues to sniff out this option read. This time it's Omari Porter coming up, or excuse me, I should say it is Jalen Schuler coming out to make the tackle.
Jalen Schuler and Fred Gaskin, and they're doing a good job now of sorting out that triple option and getting to the perimeter and being able to corral Jenkins.
No gain. Rice, time of possession, double USF. They've moved the ball. They've had 2 5-minute-plus drives, but nothing to show for it here in the first half.
Yeah, the Owls have done a pretty nice job of controlling the clock, but they haven't been able to put it in the end zone.
Second down and 10, it's Aaron Turner. He's been one of the most consistent players for this Rice offense as he picks up 3 to bring up 3rd down and 7.
And again, a spot that Rice struggles in. You get in 3rd and long. South Florida knows you have to throw it. I wouldn't be surprised to see Rice just try to run the triple here and see if they can't pop one on the edge.
3 for 6 on 3rd downs tonight. Jenkins just 2 for 4 passing for 21 yards. It's been almost exclusively the run out of that triple option. Looking to throw this time. A short gain to the tight end. And not much else as James Falk gets the completion. And we'll bring up 4th down.
Fred Gaskin again just flying in from his safety spot and making that tackle. Schuler combining with him once again for the 2nd straight play. Gaskin was the 3rd highest rated recruit in USF history when they brought him in a couple of years ago, and been helping them out in the secondary.
And over 35 offers as it's the 2nd 3-and-out of the night for Rice. And the punt fielded at the USF 32-yard line. 1 yard on the return. And we'll see what USF can do this time. 3 drives so far, 3 touchdowns on the night. Byron Brown, 7 for 10 tonight, 159 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's eclipsed 3,000 yards passing for the season. All smiles coming out for the 4th drive of the night for this Bulls offense. What's improved this year for Byron Brown, Patrick?
Well, Brown has really gotten a lot better at throwing the deep ball. You see the numbers here. The first 3 years of his career, 29% completion percentage on balls thrown more than 20 yards downfield. This year, it's up to 50%. He's really worked on his footwork, has figured out how to complete those deep balls, which is really important in this offense that Alex Golesh runs. They use a lot of deep choice routes on the outside, and those big explosive plays in the passing game are one of the main reasons why they're 5th in the country in scoring.
Design quarterback run there, and you know, one of the things that Brown had to do was learn on the sidelines last year. Played in only 5 games before injuring his leg, missed the remainder of the season. Did a lot of studying, and Coach Golesh telling us he is the first player in the facility every single day. Him and Golesh have a text messaging conversation depending on which one beats the other one to the facility in the morning. Text the other one, say, hey, you still sleeping? What's the deal? Why aren't you here right now? As Brown breaks a tackle across midfield and out of bounds inside Rice territory.
Yeah, I love that kind of relationship between a coach and quarterback, and it makes it a lot easier for a coach when your quarterback is your toughest guy and your hardest worker, and you see it pay off on the field for Brown. I mean, he is so strong, and when nothing's there down the field, he can just fight through a tackle just like that and pick up a big chunk.
22 yards on the play. Savannah, you got some more for us on Byron Brown.
Yeah, you know, we talked about it today of just all that swirling around right now with this South Florida team, but if you ask Byron Brown where he's at right now, it's here. Coach told us that he doesn't worry about the future, and that's why he thinks he has so much success. You know, if you're like, Byron, what are you worried about right now? In the middle of the week, it was 3rd down, tight zone emphasis at their Wednesday practice, and he just went on and on about how incredible of a leader he is and the stability that comes from the team through him.
He's looking to fire here on 2nd down and long. Sidearm sling is off the hands of Keyshawn Singleton. It'll be 3rd and long for USF. And Patrick, to complete Savannah's point there, you know, that's what Coach Golesh was saying. Not only the focus on today's game and today's, you know, opportunity, but the process that he has instituted for himself over the past year to become that quote-unquote pro-style quarterback that he eventually would like to become.
And it's really a big decision coming up, not just for Coach Golesh, but for Byron Brown on if he's going to go to the NFL. Does he stay here at USF? There's going to be a lot of teams that are going to want him to jump in the portal and pay him a lot of money as well.
Free play here for USF. The fight for the pass. I'm not sure if that was caught or intercepted. Either way, it's going to be USF ball because of the penalty as Rice jumped off sides. It's a dangerous throw intended for Wyatt Sullivan. And I believe they're going to say an interception, but
Defense,
yeah.
number 94. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So a faux interception, if you will. I believe was that Ty Morris on the play there?
It was, yeah, that from linebacker. You take a look at it here. Sullivan and Morris kind of fighting for it. Morris has got to kind of hit the ground at the end there. So if they had to look at it more closely, probably would have been incomplete. But nevertheless, it was offsides. It was a free play. Here we go. Again.
2nd free play in a row. Cross-field pass. Byron Brown, another flag comes in. Singleton was interfered with, and he still makes the catch.
That's the 2nd time tonight where Singleton is just getting grabbed by a defender. He makes the catch anyway, top of the screen, just going to work. All kinds of contact from Porter. Singleton with a fantastic adjustment to make that grab. And plus the pass interference.
Offside. Defense, number 99. Penalties decline. Pass interference. Defense, number 7. Penalties decline. Result of the play is a 1st down.
Porter was doing everything he could to make sure Singleton couldn't catch that ball. He caught it anyway.
34 yards on the 4th catch of the night for Singleton, who's got 90 yards overall and a pair of touchdowns. And now USF deep inside the red zone. The ball spotted at the Rice 7. 2nd red zone opportunity of the game for the Bulls. Brown inside the 5 down to the 3-yard line. 4-yard scamper. You can't give free plays to Byron Brown, showing you the arm strength. Quickly snaps that one, hands it off up the middle. Nakai Davenport runs it in for the 4th score of the day for USF.
Now look at the celebration. all grabbing hands, that's pretty good. The left side of the offensive line for South Florida getting a nice push there. Derek Bowman, Thomas Schrader. They have 5 graduate students across the board on this offensive line, and this is a great unit. I'd say the best in the American.
7th rushing touchdown of the year for Nakai Davenport. Nico Grammatica 4 for 4 on point afters tonight. And with 6:54 to go in the second quarter, USF a commanding 28-point lead.
What a night it's been for Byron Brown. 193 yards and 3 scores through the air. The first one to Singleton. He can throw the deep ball. We talked about his improvement in his completion percentage on those deep throws. Get some help after the catch from Singleton. Another big run after the catch and a wide open receiver. And Moody Rubin with the stiff arm. Byron Brown has been getting it done on the ground, through the air tonight like he's done all season long. 56 yards on the ground, 193 through the air, doing what he does.
4 touchdown drives for USF, none longer than 3 minutes and 24 seconds, averaging over 10 yards per play, as Byron Brown is up to 193 yards passing and now over 4,000 yards in total offense for the season. The first USF player with multiple 4,000-yard seasons of total offense in his career.
Impressive. And in my opinion, Brown should be the American Conference Offensive Player of the Year. Drew Bestamaker is going to be in that conversation, but to me it should be Brown.
Rodney Hill Jr. swallowing up Quentin Jackson on the return, and Rice will start at their own 15-yard line. A long way to go for a Rice offense that has just struggled to get anything going here in this first half.
Well, Rice would really like to be able to take up the rest of this second quarter clock and go down and get a touchdown, and they're going to have to get some push up front from their offensive line.
Worst starting position for Rice tonight. 6:48 to go in the opening half.
Now, even down 28-0, Rice is going to continue to run the football under Scott Abel. This is what they do. When you look at the run percentage leaders in the country, Rice at 70%. Only the service academies run the football more than Rice does, and that's the idea. And Scott Abel wants to do that. It's a very high academic standard program, so they're looking for a way to give themselves an advantage when they don't have quite the athletes that their opponent does.
First time they passed to Drayden Dickman in this game, across the 20-yard line. Minimal pickup there, as 4 yards on the play. They had a game a couple weeks ago against UAB. They won the game and had only 41 yards passing in the win.
Yeah, and the idea for Rice is when you're running the triple option, they run it out of the shotgun, whereas the service academies are more under center in the flex bone. But the idea is if you can read 2 guys and leave them unblocked on a play, gives you a little bit of a numbers advantage, and maybe you don't have to have quite the horses that your opponent does, but it takes time to get that offense going. It could take a couple years.
Coach Abel said the last time he had a quarterback go under center was nearly 3 decades ago, so not something he does normally, as Aaron Turner, absolutely no gain on the play. Ben Knox, a good open field tackle.
When you're playing a triple option team like this, you got to have your corners get dirty a little bit, and Ben Knox has done a good job of that tonight on the edge, making a nice tackle, just wrap up the legs and take him down.
3 and out for Rice. So instead of, like you mentioned, what they wanted to do, which was take all 6 minutes and 45 seconds and score, instead it was just about a minute and a half, and they're punting again, a 3 and out. Good punt from Baqueta, as Joshua Porter nowhere to go. Tackle made by Joe Chavez on the punt coverage. The American Conference kicks off Conference Championship Week next Friday at 8 p.m. on ABC. Tune in to ESPN Plus at 7 p.m. for the American Football Championship pregame show presented by LLH Healthcare. Maria Trivalpiece, Renee Ingoglia, and Lagar Duzabal will be in studio getting you ready for the game between North Texas and either Tulane or Navy.
Tulane's already up 14-0 on Charlotte, so it's looking like it's going to be the green wave.
USF now with 4:42 to go. That's about twice as long as they've needed for touchdown drives on average in this game.
They can score in a hurry. They don't need much time at all. Give them about 30 seconds and they can find a way to do something with it.
Sam Franklin on the first down pickup of 5 yards.
But it's likely going to be North Texas versus Tulane in the conference championship game. South Florida went and beat North Texas in Denton. Did not play Tulane this year. I mean, the Bulls clearly one of the best teams in the American, but had a couple of tough road games, a 3-point loss at Memphis, 3-point loss at Navy, keeping them out of the conference championship game. But still a lot to play for South Florida, looking for that 9th win of the season.
Scoring offense leaders around the country this year. North Texas #1, not far behind USF, averaging just under 43 points per game. They've got 28 points here in the first half at home against Rice. It's a set 3rd down and 2. Deep pass down the sidelines, going to Singleton again. The pass a bit underthrown as Amari Porter in coverage one-on-one against Singleton yet again. Porter, that's a tall task. He's done an okay job, but at least gets in front of that pass to knock it down this time.
A lot of speed from Singleton, just runs right by him, but Brown just a little bit underthrown, and Porter recovers pretty well to help break that up. But that's what they do in this offense with Alex Golish. They like to spread the receivers out really far, wide splits, try to create those one-on-one matchups, and then run deep choice routes on the outside. Almost have one there.
First 3 and out, first punt of the game. Spiraling kick from the Aussie Chase Leon. Fair catch called for at the Rice 20-yard line as Drayden Dickman was back to receive. So good job by the Rice defense not to give up any ground. And you see Coach Abel in there, Pat, just trying to give some words of encouragement. Can we get a little bit of momentum going into the locker room?
Yeah, Rice just wanted to get some points on the board. They've got enough time here, even running the football, to drive it down the field and try to put something up. And Scott Abel's just continuing to build that culture here on year 1. He feels like he's on schedule with this program.
Nearly 300 yards of total offense for USF in the half. Rice just trying to get over 100 yards, and that'll help. Aaron Turner, a 10-yard pickup and a first down. Turner has really showed some nice flashes. You mentioned played a couple years at UConn, also played a couple years University of Cincinnati. Very versatile player for this Rice Owls team.
Turner had his best game of the season last week against North Texas, had 136 total yards, and mixed it up between the ground and the air. He plays the slot position where he's going to be the pitch man on the triple option, and he's going to be an option in the passing game as well.
Nearly 50 yards of total offense for Turner in the game. Jenkins sees a gap, just not fast enough to get through it as Deshaun Rucker trips him up by the shoelaces. That's a tough guy to outrun, as Rucker was a high school track star, ran the 100-meter dash in 10.76 seconds.
Rucker coming all the way from the corner position, the opposite side of the formation. Great speed, great pursuit to cut down Jenkins, or that could have been a big game.
2nd down and 7. So Jenkins is just thrown for 26 yards. Some of them have been kind of pitches that they've ruled were passes, maybe looked like handoffs, just like that one right there. And it's Turner for a short gain on 2nd down. Picked up 3. Still some work to do on 3rd down with 2:10 to play.
Yeah, those jet sweeps, like you saw right there, they go down as passes because Jenkins is flipping the ball to Turner. Yep. And the idea is if you fumble it, it's an incomplete pass instead of a fumble because you're pitching it forward.
Yeah, they had 2 or 3 of those that were originally ruled a rush and were changed to a pass later on. 3rd and 4 upcoming. 2-minute warning. 28-0 USF. Coming up at halftime, we'll send you to Maria Trival-Peast in Studio A for some of the top plays and performances in the American over the past week. We've had some top plays here in this one. The USF fans dancing their way through the end of this second quarter. 28-0, 2 minutes to go. Rice with the football, just trying to get something on the board before the end of the half. Jenkins to his left. Muscles his way forward near the first down marker. It is not going to be enough. About a half-yard shy. You see the rushing attack coming into this game. Nearly 219 yards on the ground per game this year. They've got 70 yards on the ground here in the first half against USF.
And when Scott Abel was at Davidson, he led the country, led the FCS in rushing 5 of the 6 years he was there. And he did it with an up-tempo attack like South Florida does. So he'd like to get there eventually with Rice, but they just weren't quite ready for that this season.
4th down and a yard. Rice is 0 for 1 on 4th downs tonight. The handoff up the middle. And a first down converted. Tyvon Byers. The freshman gets 5 yards when he only needed 1. Moves the chains as the clock keeps ticking.
The Byers just gets a good head of steam going, and the left side of that offensive line for Rice just washed everything down, and then he was able to lower the shoulder on Jalen Schuler and pick up that first down.
You're gonna have some power to move through Jalen Schuler like he did. See the time of possession there. Taking a lot of time on this possession. Under a minute to play in the half. No urgency at the line for Rice. Jenkins scrambling, lobs it downfield, well out of bounds, and that'll stop the clock with 41 seconds to play.
Yeah, we're at the point now where Rice is going to have to start using their timeouts and also pick up the pace a little bit if they want to continue to run their offense in their conventional way, where they run the football a lot rather than throw it, which they'd rather run it. Almost a bad snap there. And nobody open downfield. Jenkins having to dance around a ton of pressure and just has to throw it away.
Their kicker, Rice's kicker, Enoch Gott, is long on the season, is 49 yards. They do have all 3 timeouts remaining. 2nd down and 10 from their own 44-yard line. Jenkins looking upfield, now tucks and runs, and he is laid out across the middle.
Mac Harris with a big hit there, the 6th-year senior out of the Villages, number 24 on the right side of the screen, going to come flying in here. And Jenkins was kind of hesitating there, just looking for somebody downfield, trying to keep the eyes downfield, and by the time he decided to tuck it and run, Harris was right there to clobber him.
And so Rice will use their first timeout. That's the 5th tackle of the game for for Mac Harris, and he is now officially at 100 tackles on the season. You mentioned it earlier, his 58th game in a USF uniform, tying a Bulls record for games played.
And senior night for South Florida, last time that these seniors, including Harris, will get to play on this field. And Harris was saying this week, I want to see who's going to cry. He said, it's not going to be me, I'm not going to cry, but I want to see who else does. It'd be interesting to ask him about that after the game, who was crying.
30 seconds to go in the half. Rice near midfield. So they're going to need 6 yards to pick up a first down. Still have 2 timeouts remaining. Pressure coming. Jenkins hesitating. Little tap dance as Harris chasing him down from behind. Harris hit his arm. The ball comes loose as Jenkins was throwing. They're going to rule an incomplete pass. And a flag down as well. An injured player on the sideline in front of the Rice bench. It is Chase Jenkins.
Well, South Florida has done a really nice job on this drive in coverage, and there's been nothing, absolutely nothing open for Jenkins down the field. Harris chases him down. They're calling it an incomplete pass. Looks like it's right, and I wonder if that could be targeting also. I think it was Schuler that came in and hit Jenkins at the end. Coming from the right side. Helmet to helmet right there.
Yep, that's a good call, Pat.
Jenkins.
Targeting. Defense, number 7. Plays under further review.
Yeah, it is targeting. That's what the flag was on.
Jenkins is a defenseless player right there because he's in a passing posture, and Schuler comes in with the contact to the head or neck area. That's two of the things you need. The third thing you need is an indicator for targeting, and that would be if he launched, if he lowered his head. So they're gonna review that right now and make sure it was targeted.
Jenkins being evaluated by the training staff on the bench with 18 seconds to go in the half.
Schuler, I'd say he lowers the head right there to come and attack with the helmet. So to me, that would be an indicator of targeting, and there you have all three things you need for targeting. You got a defenseless player in Jenkins throwing the football, you got helmet-to-helmet contact, and you got Schuler lowering the head as the indicator.
Harris did enough on his own to end the play with the disruption by hitting Jenkins' arm, and then it's the secondary effort, the second guy coming in, and that was Jalen Schuler delivering the hard hit. Helmet-to-helmet contact. An official review on the targeting call. The backup quarterback for Rice is Drew DeVilliers, redshirt freshman who's only thrown the ball 12 times this year.
And if targeting is confirmed here, Jalen Schuler would have to come out of the game and miss the rest of the game for South Florida.
USF defensive coordinator Todd Orlando there, just waiting to hear the ruling.
And these two guys, I mean, Harris and Schuler together, they're best friends, and they have meant so much to Todd Orlando. He said he was probably going to cry a little bit at senior day, Todd Orlando, especially for those two guys, Harris and Schuler, that he's loved so much. And he said they've butted heads at times, but they've figured out how to get along and how to make this defense better over the last 3 years.
Orlando, 20 years as a defensive coordinator at this level, stops at USC, Texas, Houston. Third year working for Coach Golish at USF. As officiating crew led by Matt Overton, the replay official Tim Schoen. Taking a long look at this one. Chase Jenkins is walking gingerly, it appears, to the locker room.
Yeah, I'm sure they're checking him out for a concussion. They've also got the office in Pittsburgh, the replay office in Pittsburgh, that's helping with this collaborative replay. It looks like we got a decision here.
After review, there is targeting. Number 7 is disqualified. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, it's the right call. Yeah, everything you laid out there. So disappointing end to the night for Jalen Schuler, two-time American Defensive Player of the Week, second on the team in tackles, and not the way he wanted to end his senior night.
Yeah, that's a tough one for Schuler. Got to try to keep the head out of the tackle, but tough for him to have to miss the rest of the game on senior night. He's been here at USF for 4 years, spent 2 more at the JUCO level, but he'll have a chance to play in the bowl game.
22 seconds to go. 2 timeouts for Rice. First down and 10 after the penalty. DeVilliers, who has not played hardly at all this year, trying to find Drayden Dickman. Pass incomplete on the near sideline.
Yeah, Rice in a really tough spot here. They're not used to throwing the ball to try to go down and score with not much time left, and then you got to put a backup redshirt freshman quarterback in as well and try and get it done.
At the very least, just trying to get into field goal range, put some type of points on the board. Only 3 seconds came off the clock on that play. DeVilliers to throw. It's Turner making a cut across the middle, taken down for a first down. He'll be spotted right around the 25-yard line, 11 yards on the catch to Aaron Turner.
And Rice is going to take their time out there to make sure they preserve some time on the clock, to give them a chance at a field goal, or if they can put in the end zone. But nice play by Turner there to just turn it upfield right away after the catch, and puts the ball on the inside shoulder, and then Turner able to just turn it right upfield, beat a couple of defenders to pick up that first down, give him an opportunity.
All of a sudden, we have a pocket passer for
Yeah,
Rice.
look at this.
Drew DeVilliers didn't look rusty at all. He's slinging it coming off the bench cold.
Yeah, he's looking good. He's feeling good, getting his opportunity in here and trying to lead a touchdown drive for the Owls, and maybe have a shot at a couple more plays here with a timeout before they have to kick the field goal.
First down and 10 from the USF 26-yard line. Villiers near sideline. A diving wide receiver that was out of the reach of Ryan Guillo, who comes up limping. 9 seconds now.
A pretty good anticipation throw there from DeVilliers. He got that ball out before Guillo had made his cut, and they just couldn't connect.
Still one timeout remaining for Rice if they can try to get off a quick play here. Save some time for the field goal unit. And now it's USF who's going to take a timeout.
30-second timeout.
The Bulls want to make sure they get lined up correctly so they don't want to give up any points here. They want to preserve that shutout as long as they can.
10-play drive for Rice. 54 yards so far. In field goal range right now for Enoch Gott.
This South Florida defense has really improved under the last three seasons under Todd Orlando. And 4 defensive touchdowns this year. That's 3rd in the country. Top 10 in interceptions and turnovers, just outside the top 10 in fumble recoveries. And that's what Todd Orlando wants to do. Create a lot of havoc, create turnovers, create sacks, pressure on the quarterback. They're going to give up some plays now and then, but they want to get the football back for their offense as much as possible.
9 seconds to go for DeVilliers and the Rice Owl offense. Steps up in the pocket to the end zone. Turner was open and DeVilliers overthrew him.
Oh, big missed opportunity there for Rice. It was a nice play to extend the play, but DeVilliers just off the front foot, and Turner getting behind that zone defense. Just a little bit too long on the throw from DeVilliers.
44-yard field goal attempt for Enoch Gott. Long on the season is 49 yards. 8 for 11 field goals this year for the redshirt junior from Houston. With 3 seconds to go in the half, Rice looking for points. And right down the middle. 3 points off the leg of Enoch Gott, and Rice gets on the board as time expires here in the first half from Raymond James Stadium. As USF nearly 300 yards of total offense, a pair of touchdowns to Keyshawn Singleton. They've got 28 points and a 25-point lead here at home, looking for their first undefeated home season since 2002 and their first 9-win season since 2017. They are well on their way. A great start to the game on senior night in front of their home fans here at Raymond James Stadium.
4 touchdowns on 5 drives for the Bulls. I'm sure Alex Golich would like to get a few more possessions, but Rice has held the ball so long they haven't got as many as he would like to, but South Florida has executed very well offensively. They've gotten the explosive plays in the passing game.
Savannah is with Rice coach Scott Abel.
Coach, you emphasize tempo for this offense. How do you find that and establish it in the second half?
Well, we found it at times, just couldn't maintain it. And, you know, credit to them. And we just got to be more consistent. You know, it's what it is, and you know, it's a major challenge in front of us. We're an incredibly young program, and you know, so we got to keep battling. And through the momentums and through the potholes out there, we got to keep battling.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
We appreciate Coach Abel, and we appreciate you joining us as we get set for halftime here in Tampa. USF on top 28-3 at home on senior night. It's halftime here between the Rice Owls and the USF Bulls. Let's send you to Studio A and Maria Trivalpiece.
Welcome into Studio A. I'm Maria Trivalpiece. There's a lot of things to be thankful for this holiday season, but one thing I'm very grateful for is the opportunity to show you this week's top plays. We'll begin on the football field, North Texas and Rice. We talk a lot about Drew Mestemaker, but how about Wyatt Young? He's pretty good at football too. There he is, breaking multiple tackles for the Mean Green. Then he gets going, running all the way to the end zone for the touchdown. North Texas wins this one. The American Volleyball Championship was this weekend. Tulsa walked away victorious, but before they got to the champ game, they had to beat Florida Atlantic in the quarterfinals. Owls putting up a fight, leading 7-5. That's Lauren Patterson, the libero, coming up big with the dig. It's crossover season, which means not only fall sports, but winter sports are going on as well. Here's Memphis men's basketball. Zach Davis to William Wharton with the reverse slam dunk. Heading back to the football field, Tulsa taking on Army. Pay attention to Lento Smith Jr. That is a one-handed pick. Also, the Golden Hurricane come back and win this game. This was a defining moment in the matchup. Lento Smith, oh my goodness. Let's head back to the volleyball court for our top play of the week. This is Charlotte and South Florida. See this dig right there? That is Maya Thomas. Pay attention to her because she's not done yet. Boom, there she is again, diving to make a huge save, but still, there's more to come from Maya Thomas, diving again. South Florida would eventually go on to win this point. They also go on to win the match. If you see a top play this week, make sure you use the hashtag American Top Plays on social. Keep it right here. We have more coming up for you on ESPN+.
Perfect football weather here in Tampa. It's halftime between the Owls and the Bulls. The American on ESPN Plus is home to over 40 college football games, 1,000 exclusive live events, and every American Conference championship throughout the season. For more information and to sign up, visit stream.espn.com. Now let's go rejoin Maria in Studio A.
Welcome into Studio A. I'm Maria Travelpiece. This week, the American announced their Players of the Week in men's and women's basketball and football. We highlight those student athletes on this week's American's Best. The men's basketball Player of the Week is Tulane's Curtis Williams. Williams averaged 21.5 points and 6 rebounds as the Green Wave went 1-1 last week. Williams scored 32 points and grabbed 9 rebounds as Tulane defeated Boston College in overtime on Sunday evening. The Offensive Player of the Week in football is North Texas's Wyatt Young. Young broke the American single-game receiving record with 295 yards on just 8 catches, including 2 touchdowns in the Mean Green's win at Rice. Young, who averaged 36.9 yards per catch, had touchdown catches of 74 and 84 yards. The 295 yards broke the previous conference record of 283, set by C.J. Johnson of East Carolina for Cincinnati on November 2, 2019. The Women's Basketball Player of the Week is South Florida's Stephanie Ingram. Ingram scored a career-high 27 points against Duke to help the Bulls defeat the Blue Devils for a second straight season. She scored 21 points in the second half while shooting 61.5% from the floor and 66.7% from behind the arc. For more on the weekly awards, you can visit our website at theamerican.org. Keep it right here. We have more coming up for you on ESPN+.
The second half between the Rice Owls and the USF Bulls is just moments away. Patrick Savannah and I will bring you first half highlights. It was the running of the Bulls in the first half here in Tampa. 28-3, USF on top here on senior night at Raymond James Stadium. That's Patrick Murray. I'm Eric Rothman, and listen, the USF offense has been as advertised, nearly 300 yards of total offense there in that first half.
Yeah, Byron Brown has got that downfield passing game going for the Bulls. They put up 4 touchdown drives in 5 drives, and they've just been rolling all night.
Keyshawn Singleton, a pair of touchdowns. Moody Rubin, a 60-yard bomb. The USF offense striking often and striking quickly, despite the fact that Rice really dominated time of possession, and that's just because USF was scoring so quickly.
Yeah, that's what the Bulls do. They're going to go as fast as humanly possible in terms of tempo, put up as many points as they can, as quickly as they can. They've got over 100 rushing yards, almost 200 through the air. They've been rolling. 9
yards per play for the USF offense. And my apologies to the kicker for Rice. It's Enoch Gota. He's kicking off to start the third quarter. So the USF offense will get the ball back. And Patrick, I mentioned it, but Keyshawn Singleton, a pair of touchdowns.
And even falling down, he can make those kind of grabs with those 4XL gloves, and even with the defender all over him and a pass interference call, Singleton still making a great grab and then puts together a nice run after the catch for his second touchdown of the day. And Byram Brown, possibly the conference player of the year offensively. He can do it with his legs, he can do it with his arm, finding a wide open Media Rubin. What a day it's been for Brown.
As his first pass of the third quarter knocked down by Blake Banish. We'll check in with Savannah.
Well, coming out of halftime, it does not look like Rice QB Chase Jenkins is set to return. He came out and had the hood underneath his jersey up, and it seemed like he's standing on the sidelines, hasn't put his helmet on yet, so it doesn't look like he's set to return. He did not participate in warm-ups coming out of the half and came out later after the team had taken the field.
Savannah, thank you. Disappointing end for Chase Jenkins if he in fact does not return. It was that targeting call against Jalen Schuler late in the second quarter. Schuler was ejected from the game after the review, and you could see Jenkins being tested on the sidelines for a possible concussion. So, with those head injuries, Patrick, always better to be safe than sorry. So it looks like Rice on the offensive side of things will have Drew DeVilliers under center. But right now it's 3rd and 7 for USF with Byram Brown scrambling across his own 30-yard line. And he's taken down by Ty Morris. And a quick 3-and-out for the USF offense to start the third quarter.
Well, back-to-back stops for the Rice defense. USF started the game with 4 straight touchdown drives, and Rice settling in on defense now, getting the ball back to their offense, and they need to get a little momentum going here.
So how does that change things for Rice's offense? We saw DeVilliers at the end of the second quarter. Seems to be more of a traditional pocket passer. They did not run the option like they were running all game and have run all season with Chase Jenkins.
I think that was just the fact of the situation. They had to go quick. They had to go and try and score a touchdown with less than a minute left. We got a fake
punt. A little end around trickeration for USF as they continue to roll. And it is Kinkle. A 15-yard pickup on 4th down. The fake punt converted. And they'll have to wait to see the Rice offense.
Well, very creative there. He snapped it to the up back and Harris, and he flips it to Kinkle, get around the edge and pick up the first down. Not expecting a fake punt there, and Rice wasn't either.
Trey Kinkle, the freshman running back from Holly Springs, Mississippi. His first touch of the game, converts on 4th down. And the USF offense back out onto the field at their own 46-yard line. Pass is to Media Rubin on 1st down, and there you see why they're so good on 1st down. 9 yards on that play. They average nearly 8 yards per play on 1st down this year. That's good for 3rd in all of college football. So short 2nd down opportunity here for Nakai Davenport. Davenport across the 30, down inside the 25. A big run on 2nd and short for Nakai Davenport. He picks up 22.
He's been a great find for South Florida. Just nice patience to find that hole, showing off the shiftiness and the power.
Brown with all kinds of time. Flag comes out downfield. Soft lob out of bounds to the ball boy. We will wait to see if there is some sort of holding downfield against Rice.
Yeah, it looks like a defensive holding against Rice because Jeremiah Koger was on the ground, the South Florida receiver.
Defense, number 5, 10-yard penalty.
It's on Jarek Harper. His defensive backs for Rice have had their hands full all game long.
Yeah, this is a really explosive South Florida offense. They like to go deep down the field. They got a lot of speed at receiver. And Rice has had a hard time dealing with it tonight. We've seen a couple holding calls and a pass interference.
3 touchdowns, 196 yards for Byram Brown. USF offense perfect 2 for 2. Touchdowns scored in the red zone tonight. 1st and 10. On the Rice 13. It's Davenport bouncing off tacklers and inside the 10.
Yeah, this area of the field, South Florida just leans on that veteran offensive line. They're 5 grad students. Whether it's the running back or Brown, they want to keep it on the ground.
Davenport's got a touchdown of his own. Brown, back corner of the end zone, deflected off the helmet of Omari Porter. Time and time again, he's had single coverage against Keyshawn Singleton, and Porter gets in front of him that time.
Now, Porter made a nice play there. He starts out by being physical, grabs onto him, gets into the body, and then comes off just in time to make a play on the ball, get the hand right between the hands of Singleton. Nicely done there by Porter to avoid the pass interference and play the football.
Yeah, Porter, a top 25 recruit, spent 4 years at Stanford, grad transfer here at USF. Shoelace catch near the goal line. It'll be enough for a first down, but not enough for the touchdown. Mudia Rubin picked up 7 yards on the catch, but just shy of what would have been his second touchdown of the day.
He was right there, and with his strength, I thought he would have gotten in, but nice ball placement by Brown there, keeping it away from the defender, letting Rubin make that catch.
First and goal. Davenport side by side with Byron Brown. Koger in motion. Brown stops on a dime. Oh, they were trying to get a little cheeky. The ball is still live. No whistle on the play. That might be a turnover.
Second down.
No, they ruled a backwards pass, and so will stay USF football. Excuse me.
I tried to get the throwback screen to the right guard, Zane Herring, and if you throw it to an offensive lineman, it has to be a backwards pass. An offensive lineman in college football cannot be an eligible receiver. So Herring, that one on the ground, he's got to cover it up, and the Bulls get the football back.
6-yard loss, kind of nonchalantly picking up that ball was Herring when it was a live ball. Throw to the end zone for the 4th touchdown pass of the night. Byron Brown connects with Jeremiah Koger.
The freshman from Baltimore, they call him J-Money. Like to get him involved down in the red zone. A little slant route. Brown hits him in South Florida, keeping the offense rolling tonight.
The 3rd receiver to catch a touchdown pass for the Bulls.
Now Brown just zips it in there. There's not a lot of space down there in the red zone. Got to have some velocity on the throw. He's got it.
Koger, who didn't catch a pass until October 3rd in a game against Charlotte, now has 7 touchdowns, the most by a true freshman in the country. 35-3, USF on top after the 75-yard touchdown drive. Brown connects with Koger for another score. Tarps off at USF as the Bulls on top 35-3. The touchdown to Jeremiah Coger, the freshman. A bullet across the middle from Byram Brown, his 4th touchdown pass of the game. And for more on Jeremiah Coger, let's send it down to Savannah Collins.
Well, Patrick mentioned it earlier tonight. Through the first 4 games, Coger had no catches, 0. And Coach Joel Gordon told us that the timing is just different for everybody, that he was working his butt off, finishing with great blocking effort in the run game. And he said when you play hard all the time, the ball is going to find you at some point. The Bulls are so glad it's found him again tonight.
Savannah, you're absolutely right. And Coger, who's just blossomed here in this second half of the season, and so many different weapons for Byram Brown to throw to, as he's now connected with 3 different wide receivers for a touchdown tonight.
And Alex Golish in this South Florida program, they started off when they first got here doing a great job in the portal, but they've really done a nice job in recruiting as well. They've been at the top, or at least near the top of the American with their recruiting classes the last 3 years. And you're starting to see that pay off with guys like Coger and Nakai Davenport.
Scott Abel, uphill battle for the Rice Owls here in the second half as they turn to backup quarterback Drew DeVilliers, who came on in the final series of the second quarter and led the Owls to a field goal, and now comes in for the injured Chase Jenkins. And you talked about, kind of circumstantial in that second quarter with DeVilliers not running the option, turning into more of a pocket passer. Comes out here the first play of the third quarter, runs the option, keeps it himself, picks up the first down.
Yeah, this is what Rice wants to do. I mean, they had to throw it in that situation late in the first half, but they want to run the option, and DeVilliers gives them a little something different. He's a big dude at 6'5", 228. He's got a little more power than Jenkins.
Flips it ahead to Aaron Turner. Flag in the backfield. Turner, back-to-back first downs, a gain of 12 on the play, but looks like it's going to be coming back a hold against Rice.
Holding. Offense. Number 60. 10-yard penalty. First down.
On the veteran Sean Sullivan, transfer from Yale.
Sullivan on the bottom of the screen, 60, just grabs his man by the jersey and slings him to the ground. That was the nickel Jarvis Lee. Size advantage going to Sullivan there, but it's called for the hold.
So negates a 12-yard gain instead of 10-yard loss. First down and 20, and it's just killer too because he's an Ivy League guy, and his teammates are like, "Come on, Ivy League guy, we can't be making errors." The burden of going and being smart and going to the Ivy Leagues. DeVilliers back to pass. Had Turner open, maybe a little miscommunication there. Turner was not looking for the football.
Yeah, DeVilliers just having to get that one out quickly and not quite on the same page with Turner. And Turner in the slot. DeVilliers maybe expecting him to just sit that one down with the coverage, the safety over top of him, but Turner keeps the route going.
Saw Turner patting his chest. My bad. They'll regroup. Second down and 20. Once again, Turner sweeping, now cutting across the middle. Hash marks in front of him, being chased down from behind, inside the 25 and out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Aaron Turner on the biggest play from scrimmage for Rice at 55 yards.
And Sean Sullivan had the key block, left side 60, gets that block that frees him. We got on him for the hold, but Sullivan, give him credit for making the key block and springing Aaron Turner down the sidelines. He may have ran out of gas a little bit at the end there.
Yeah, more than makes up for the mistake as Sullivan springs Turner. Turner now 6 catches, 100 yards. He had 275 yards receiving coming into this game for the entire season. Now, obviously, all of these passes here he's getting is about a 1-yard pass and run, but they count as receptions nonetheless.
Yeah, Michael Williams getting looked at for South Florida after that play, but yeah, those jet sweeps, they're looking to get Turner the ball in open space. That's an easy way to do it. Nice blocking by the O-line, and the vision here by Turner to just see that cutback lane, nice quick cut. And then once he's in the open field, he's got some speed to pick up some extra yardage, and then kind of throttles it down there at the end. Not sure what happened, if he started to feel something in the hamstring, or if he was like, all right, I think that's it. I'm not getting anything more.
I think he said, this is 50% of my yards for the entire season. I'm a little gassed out. He was being chased from behind by Jalen Stokes. And it'll be first down and 10. The 20-yard line of USF. Drayden Dickman gets the ball, and he is rudely interrupted on his run by Fred Gaskin.
Gaskin's been having some fun tonight, flying around, coming from that safety spot, just coming downhill and laying some big hits.
No gain on the play, second down and 10. Dickman in motion again. This time it's DeVilliers. A face-first slide inside the 15-yard line. As Xavier Hamilton came in to make the tackle, a 6-yard gain.
Rice going play action there. They wanted to take a shot at the end zone in the passing game, but Ben Knox did a great job of covering it up for South Florida, so DeVilliers just had to take the yardage he could get on the ground.
So now third down and 4. It's the first time Rice has been in the red zone tonight. 7:50 to go in the third quarter. DeVilliers again leads with his head. This time picks up only 1.
I think Rice has got to go for it here. I mean, you're down big. You got the shutout out of the way. You already got the field goal, so got to go for it here and try to put a touchdown on the board.
Levi Smiley preventing a first down pickup. Rice is scoring 93% of the time when they get to the red zone, but scoring's one thing. 7 versus 3 is big when you're trying to come back from a 32-point deficit. They're 1 for 2 on fourth downs tonight. They need 3 yards here. They go to Turner. Turns on the Jets. Oh, he slips and he pulls down his lead blocker, Quentin Jackson. It would have been a first down for sure. They both collapse to the ground, and it's a turnover on downs.
That jet sweep has been Rice's best play tonight, and Turner just losing the footing. He tried to grab onto Jackson to try to help him stay up, but it didn't work out.
Man, Rice just shooting themselves in the foot. Turner had a clear first down. Trips, falls, ball back to USF. Game summary. USF on top 35-3. Byron Brown, 4 touchdown passes to 3 different wide receivers. Keyshawn Singleton, a pair of touchdown receptions. Fake punt in the first drive of the third quarter. 4th down, extending to the most recent touchdown pass to Jeremiah Koger. And that is where we stand right now. Eric Rothman, Patrick Murray here with you. Savannah Collins on the sidelines. Final game of the regular season for both of these teams. Under 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Worst starting position for either team tonight as USF starts at their own 14 and picks up 1 yard on first down. We've talked a lot about Alex Golesh in his 3rd year. You know, inherited a lot of these players you see here on your screen. Senior night tonight. Didn't have a whole lot of success before Coach Golesh got here. It's been a completely different story these past 3 years as Singleton is taken down near the first down marker. He'll be just short.
Yeah, for those guys like quarterback Byron Brown, center Cole Best, 2022 when they were here, the Bulls went 1-11 that year, and Alex Golesh took over the next season, immediately took them to a bowl game at 6-6.
2 bowl games, 2 bowl wins in his first 2 years. 14 wins total the last 2 years. Add in another 8, possibly 9 here tonight. You see why Golesh is being talked about for some of these higher profile jobs, whether it's Arkansas or Auburn, whatever it might be. Golesh is being talked about it because of the turnaround that you just mentioned, but he's done it with a lot of those players that were here before him, and polishing off some diamonds and making household names out of guys like Byron Brown here in Florida. Here is Brown sliding for a first down across his own 40-yard line.
And that's what makes Brown special, is that second reaction ability when the play is not there, able to take off and pick up the first down. And you see the Bulls looking for that first undefeated season at home since 2002 when they were an FCS program before they had even joined the FBS. I mean, so many stats that you can point to that show what Alex Golesh has done to turn this program around. And South Florida is going to be fine whether he stays or whether he takes another job because of everything that they have set up financially in terms of being able to share revenue with the players. They've got the new stadium coming in 2027. This is a program that's going to be on the rise.
Both of these programs investing in football and new stadium for USF on campus coming. A renovation to Rice's stadium nearing $120 million of changes and improvements to that stadium. And so both of these teams look to be on the up and up with the investment made by their schools. And a couple flags down with 4:40 to go here in the third.
Yeah, it's going to be another defensive holding against Rice.
Holding. Defense, number 20. 10-yard penalty, first down.
First down, ball across midfield. See, on-campus stadium capacity in the American. Rice, 47,000. Again, $120 million worth of renovations coming to that stadium starting this year. USF's new stadium will have 35,000, and that is set to open in 2027.
And I think that's interesting that the Rice capacity is going to go way down.
Right.
Only 35,000 for USF's new stadium. That's become the trend because you want to have as many premium experiences as you can. You want to have the suites. You want to have maybe some kind of cabanas or something. You want to have cool experiences in the stadium that take up space and a more intimate atmosphere with less fans and with all the games on TV now.
Brown with all the time in the world. He's got an injured offensive lineman on the play. And Brown cuts back inside and tackled there. And flag down. The injured player for USF was Zane Herring. Looked like he was kind of grabbing his leg.
Holding. Defense, number 7.
Another defensive holding.
First down.
Amari Porter has been dealing with Keyshawn Singleton all game. Herring stays out there, but he just seemed like he was walking around gingerly as Brown was dancing around behind him.
Yeah, I saw the same thing, and this is the hold right here as Brown is scrambling around. It's tough to just grabbing the jersey right there. It's tough to guard Keyshawn Singleton for that long when Brown's scrambling. But I saw the same thing you did with Herring. He's just kind of standing there in the middle of the play looking like he couldn't continue, but he's still in there.
Handoff on a first down play to Sam Franklin, grad transfer. Played last year at Oklahoma, didn't play very much, but did have 3 pretty successful years at UT Martin. Before that, was a 2,000-yard rusher in his career at UT Martin. Picks up 7 yards, 2nd down and 3. Brown to the near side, Mudia Rubin puts on the moves. Mudia Rubin spins inside the 5-yard line.
Rubin's going to have a chance to come back next year to South Florida if he wants to. He's got another year of eligibility. Man, he has been great towards the end of the year here. The after the catch, ability to make guys miss and run through guys is fantastic.
Give it to Franklin, 1st and goal. Picks up just 2 yards, down to the 2. Franklin has 4 touchdowns on the year. Barely played last week in the win against UAB. Had just 1 carry for 2 yards. He's the featured back here. Play action, flags everywhere. Brown just waltzes in to the end zone. Nobody looks very excited about it, despite the horns and fireworks going off at Raymond James Stadium. I think this one's coming back.
Yeah, everybody waiting to get the call.
Oh. Holding. Defense, number 3. Holding. Offense, number 8. Penalties offset. Replay 2nd down.
So Wyatt Sullivan, the tight end for USF, called for the offensive hold. Ty Morris for Rice called for the defensive hold.
All kinds of holding going on here. Sullivan on the right side there, just grabbing onto the Rice defender, slinging him to the ground, and then Morris was in the backfield there, in the end zone there, holding on to a receiver for South Florida.
So we'll do it again. 2nd down and goal from the 2. The handoff to Franklin. Stood up. A gain of 1. Not enough to cross the plane.
South Florida lining up in that kind of Philadelphia Eagles tush-push formation. They got a lot of different things they do with it. Sometimes Brown will keep it around the edge. They add in a handoff there. See what they do here to try and push it in.
Andrew Alway. Good effort to keep Franklin out of the end zone. And now a flag as that play got underway. It's a false start.
Offense, number 51. 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
And that's Zane Herring. We've had more flags in the last 3 plays that we've had in this entire game.
Holdings, false starts, all over the place. Got to clean it up.
13th play of this drive. USF trying to bump up the time of possession stats. It's the only stat they've been trailing Rice in this game.
This has been their longest drive. I mean, they're not used to these methodical long drives.
Now from their own 5, 3rd and goal. Brown throwing to Koger as he was tied up with Jarek Harper. Koger just didn't even have enough time to turn around and look for that ball.
Yeah, the timing just got thrown off, and Koger was all out of sorts. He almost ran out of bounds there before he had stopped and turned around, and was not on the same page with Brown.
So now Nico Gramatica, who's had done nothing but kick point after attempts in this game. His first field goal attempt. He's 16 for 20. With all of his misses, he's had a 58-yard miss, a 52-yard miss, 43. He's pretty on par for anything inside 50 yards. As he knocks that one in. The kicking Gramatica family, another generation here at USF. Nico Gramatica adds 3. It's 38-3. Bulls on top. Well, with the college football regular season concluding, the holiday season is underway. Many members of our production crew have spent the last 14 weeks on the road, bringing you all the exciting action from around the American Conference, and we're glad they were able to go home with their friends and family on Thursday, enjoy Thanksgiving. It is not easy to travel and work as many weekends and holidays as these folks do, and everybody got to go home except for our poor camera operator Sam, right there in the middle of your screen. Sam was working the Fort Myers college basketball tournament over Thanksgiving. So Sam, I hope your family saved you some turkey, some ham, some stuffing. Hopefully there's some leftovers waiting for you at home. We appreciate every single one of our production crew. It is no small feat, Patrick, what they do week in and week out, and they make us look as good as humanly possible.
That's what I was going to say, that those people make us look good. I mean, without them, we're just standing up here talking to ourselves. And so who knows what it would be like. So we appreciate that for sure.
No doubt about it. So everybody deserves time off every once in a while. A couple flags and a player down on the kickoff.
And that's a senior Amer who went through the senior day festivities tonight.
After the play, personal foul, receiving team, number 47, half the distance from the goal from the 25, 1st and 10.
Foul, personal foul on Ty Thames, freshman linebacker for Rice.
The bottom left corner of the screen.
Oh yeah.
It's the blindside block right there. They're trying to take those type of hits out of the game when it's unnecessary to hit a guy like that when he can't see you.
I thought they said 47, but our stat sheet is saying 48. Wyatt Freeman on the penalty.
Well, they got Amer up and on his feet now. He's looking good. He's jogging off the field, so that's good news for him and for South Florida.
Rice offense after the penalty will start at their own 12-yard line. 1:41 to go here in the third quarter. One thing we talked to Scott Abel about, Pat, was his first year, what his thoughts were, how things are going. And one thing he was very proud of and made a point to tell us as that pass dropped on the far side is that when he came in, he did not ask or force any players that he inherited to enter the portal. He honored every scholarship commitment that had been made to players recruited before he came here. And so he said it's not an excuse, but we run a very unique style of offense, and it requires a very unique style of player that we need to recruit. I'm honoring a lot of players that were recruited for a different style of offense than the one we're now running, and he's happy to do so, but just going to take some time to kind of have that attrition and get the new guys in there.
Yeah, it definitely takes some time, and that's a great thing. I mean, in this age of college football, a lot of times head coaches take over a program, and you are completely flipping the roster with like 70 new players out of a roster of 105. So that's cool to see Scott Abel honor those commitments and honor those scholarships with those guys. And it's going to take time to get this offense rolling. And they're just finally starting to get used to it these last couple weeks, and now Chase Jenkins gets hurt in this game, and you've got the backup Drew DeVilliers in a quarterback.
And it looks like they're going to come up one win shy of bowl eligibility. Savannah got more on Coach Abel?
Yeah, his year one.
Go ahead, Savannah.
Yeah, Coach Abel told us that one of the things that he tends to have is ableisms. It's phrases that he goes to and harps on throughout his season. And the one that he would really put on year one at Rice is that commitment changes everything. It's hanging up outside the locker room. Coach felt like it was the biggest thing that had to change. It started in the weight room, and it shows up on the field. And even though tonight this game isn't playing out the way that they would like it to, he feels like that commitment is the thing that always gives them the opportunity to have a shot.
Really enjoyed, thank you, Savannah, talking to Coach Abel earlier this week as the fourth 3-and-out for this Rice offense. Porter fields it at his own 37-yard line up towards midfield on the return as Rice gives USF very good field position here with 44 seconds to go in the third quarter. South Florida 30 or more points in 9 straight games this year, and just tough to keep up with, if you're right, a USF offense that's putting up 500 yards on the offensive side of the ball every single game.
Yeah, this is a high-flying offense. I mean, Alex Golish led the country in scoring when he was the offensive coordinator at Tennessee in 2022. Brings that same style of offense here to South Florida in 23, and they've built it over these last 3 years into what they've got this year. And they've really got it rolling. They've got the tempo. They've got the wide splits of the receivers. They can throw it deep down the field. They can pound it up the middle with a great offensive line and some good running backs. And oh, by the way, if none of that's working, Byron Brown can beat you with his legs too.
Off his back foot, lobbing it to the far sideline, connects with Keyshawn Singleton, who was surrounded by about 4 white jerseys on the play.
Wow, that was something from Byron Brown with some pressure on him, just falling away and putting it right on the money, exactly where he needed to put it, with a bunch of white jerseys surrounding Singleton.
27 yards on the pass to Keyshawn Singleton. Over 125 yards receiving for Singleton in the game. And that's how we go to the fourth quarter. It's another red zone opportunity for USF upcoming. They lead it 38-3 here at home. They're cooking up rice as we go to the final quarter. You're watching The American on ESPN+. A gorgeous night in Tampa, Florida. South Florida on top of Rice 38-3 as we get set to start the fourth quarter of action here at Raymond James Stadium. I'm Eric Rothman alongside Patrick Murray and Savannah Collins. Happy to bring you this post-Thanksgiving conclusion to the regular season of the American. As USF looking for their first 9-win season since 2017. They are on the precipice. 15 minutes to go, and they're inside the red zone. Here is Byron Brown, and with that run, Patrick, Byron Brown is now the 12th player in the history of FBS to have 3,000 yards passing and 1,000 yards rushing in a single season. And now he'll take it again, and this time adds to the record as he waltzes into the end zone for a touchdown.
Byron Brown, man, he is special. 3,000 passing, 1,000 rushing on the year. The last guy to do that was Jaden Daniels, who won the Heisman Trophy in 2023. Get some good blocking up front from his big offensive line. And a nice one from Thomas Schrader, his left guard, to help him get in the end zone.
And now USF 5 for 5 in red zone conversions tonight. That's their 4th touchdown to go along with one Nico Gramatica field goal. As Nico knocks in the point after. 45-3, a drubbing at the hands of the University of South Florida Bulls. Byron Brown into the record books. 3,000 passing, 1,000 rushing. What a quarterback.
The college football playoff selection show, the bracket will be filled. Judgment Day is here.
Here's the current rankings and how the college football playoff bracket would shake out. Ohio State winning the game today against Michigan. Their Big Ten counterpart, Indiana, right behind them. Texas A&M, they're coming off the loss against Texas. Georgia right now penciled in as the top 4. Still some room to change as Byron Brown takes a seat on the bench. Patrick, you could not ask for much more from this USF offense tonight. 8 drives, 6 touchdowns, and a field goal.
They did their job for sure. I mean, South Florida ending the year strong offensively, and that might be the last drive for the first stringers and for Byron Brown, up by 42 points, and they'll take a seat probably and then head into the bowl game and see what kind of points they can put up at the bowl game.
For Rice, the hope coming in was to pull off a huge upset to stun USF on the road. The problem has been those explosive plays. You see 4 plays, 50 yards, just a minute and change to get down the field. And Rice has just not had the answer. And is a new quarterback in for Rice. That is Lucas Shearhorn, redshirt freshman from Spring, Texas, coming in relief of Drew DeVilliers. So the 3rd quarterback we've seen here in this game for the Owls.
And Shearhorn, a rare transfer for Rice and a rare guy that has run the triple option before. He was at Kennesaw State. They ran the triple option until they fired their coach, brought in a new coach. They changed their system. He's looking for some place to go where he can run the triple. Comes to Rice and Scott Abel when he took over this program.
Yeah, he actually called up Rice and said, hey, can I come play for you guys?
Yeah.
I run the triple option.
55. 5-yard penalty.
And you mentioned as the false start up front on Natani Fahoku, the second time he's been called for a false start tonight. You mentioned a rare transfer. What's a rare transfer? Because the academic standards are so high for Rice that it's tough to find guys in the portal that not only meet the scheme, but meet the academic requirements as well to come play for the Owls.
Yeah, most of the guys that they get as transfers are the Ivy League guys, because in the Ivy League, they don't let you play as a graduate. You get your 4 years and that's it. So a lot of those guys can come and play for Rice.
Shearhorn keeps it himself across the 40-yard line and a big run for the Kennesaw State transfer.
But for a guy like Shearhorn, there are not a lot of places you can go to run the triple option that are not a service academy, and that's a big commitment and also really hard to get into those places. That they're not taking transfers, so it worked out pretty well for Shearhorn that Scott Abel took this job at Rice. He gets a chance to play FBS football and be on this team.
Taken down by Xavier Hamilton after a 20-yard run and a first down for Shearhorn. Now at the Rice 40-yard line. Handoff to Byers. He breaks through the middle, dragging tacklers with him all the way inside the 35-yard line of USF.
I love that run from Tyvon Byers. He's a true freshman, 5'10", 214 pounds. In a couple of years, he's going to be the dude for Rice. When they've got this offense rolling, he's going to be fun to watch in a couple of years. Just lowering that shoulder, great contact balance there. I love it.
Longest run of the night for Rice at 26 yards, 2 20-plus yard plays in a row for this Owls offense with 12:15 to go here in the 4th quarter. Shearhorn, oh, he bobbled the snap. And a turnover. Everything was moving right for the offense for Rice when Shearhorn came in, and then he just could not handle the snap, and it's Lee who comes up with it.
Heads up play there by Devin Lee, the transfer from Vanderbilt, grad student on senior night, making a big time play, and look at that. The turnovers forced over the last 3 years, South Florida 3rd in the country since Todd Orlando has taken over as defensive coordinator. They hunt the football. And
it's not easy to do against Rice. That is just the 8th turnover of the year for Rice. 5th fumble lost. And Shearhorn really had the offense humming. Probably the best drive they'd put together all night long, and it ends in a disappointing turnover. And that is Sam Franklin as the starters, or at least Byron Brown, still out there for USF.
Yeah, Brown's still out there. They've got some of the backups in at running back and at wide receiver. Kind of surprised to see Brown on. I think maybe they're just giving him a curtain call here as Gaston Moore is coming off the sideline.
The curtain call for what could be the final game at Raymond James Stadium for Byron Brown.
I love to see that hug between Golish and Brown. I mean, great relationship between those two. They've helped each other out so much. I mean, Byron Brown has really helped Alex Golish skyrocket this offense, and Golish gave Brown that opportunity to do it as well.
Savannah's got more on the star quarterback for USF.
See Brown this season underneath the lights and the fireworks of the touchdowns, but it was just last year that he had a lower leg injury that took him out 3/4 of the year, and he had a hard decision to make as a young player to continue to be dialed in every single meeting, practice, game, and grow, or you could be distracted just because you weren't taking the field. And the offensive coordinator, Joe Gordon, told us that he did it the right way, and that's why you see these results of him entering an elite club of college football quarterbacks in 2025.
Absolutely, Savannah. Not only, Pat, did Byron Brown do it from the mental side, the studying the game, as Gaston Moore misses the intended wide receiver. And not only did he do that, but he also really worked on his body. He's a physical guy, 6'3", 235. He's put on a lot of muscle. He's getting himself ready, not only on the mental side, but the physical side for whatever that next step may be.
And for Byron Brown, and that could be the NFL. He could come back to USF for one more year if he wants to, or there are going to be plenty of programs out there that are going to be trying to entice him.
Sam Franklin breaks a couple of tackles and takes it down inside the Rice 15-yard line. A 33-yard pickup for the grad transfer from Little Rock, Sam Franklin.
Now the backups on the O-line opening up some holes here for South Florida.
They've got Gaston Moore as the quarterback now. Moore to the far side. As Joshua Porter, short gain of 3. Gaston Moore, a grad transfer as well. Pat came over from Tennessee, where he was recruited and played for Alex Golish, at the time the offensive coordinator for the Volunteers.
Yeah, and Moore started his career at UCF in 2020 when Golish and Josh Heupel were there. He followed them to Tennessee, transferred, and after backing up Nico Iamaleava last year, now comes back and follows Golish to South Florida.
2nd and 7, Moore lunges ahead just inside the 5-yard line, picks up the first down. Nine minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Gaston Moore on the quarterback keeper.
And Moore can run it a little bit too. It's 6'2", 212 out of Hilton Head, South Carolina. And he's looking to punch one into the end zone here. One more for the Bulls to give him a 50-burger.
There's the far sideline, lunging in for the touchdown. Christian Helms, his first look of the night, turns into a touchdown for USF.
Christian Helms, the senior grad student out of Seffner, Florida, right here in the Tampa area. I love the strength here in the fight. After this catch, he was going to find his way to get in that end zone no matter what it took on senior night. You love to see it for a Tampa area guy.
That caps off a 9-play, 61-yard drive. Rico Gramatica has been automatica on the point afters here in this game. Byron Brown gets the well-deserved curtain call. He's going out in style. USF on top 52-3.
Brown with a lot of time throws. It's caught by Singleton at the 25. Makes a couple of moves. Breaks a tackle into the end zone. Touchdown, South Florida. Keyshawn Singleton, 47 yards. The Bulls moving the ball at will. It's 13-0.
Yeah, Jim, and
that is a touchdown call from earlier tonight by the voice of the Bulls, Jim Lauk, who after 43 years as the radio play-by-play announcer for USF is announcing that he will be retiring at the end of this year. He has called more than 3,000 USF athletic contests and deservedly getting a round of applause from the fans here at Raymond James Stadium in what is his final regular season call of his career. A tip of the cap to Jim Lauk after 43 years.
That is awesome. Congrats to Jim, and last home game for the Bulls as the voice, but he'll get one more chance in a bowl game. I hope he gets a good destination. Got to go to Hawaii last year. Hope he gets a nice bowl game to retire on.
We like good stories, and sometimes senior night breeds good stories. How about the story of Christian Helms, Pat, the guy who just caught the touchdown for USF before the break?
Yeah, this is awesome. It's 7th-year senior Christian Helms. He's been here at USF since 2019. Doesn't play much at all. Most of his time is on special teams, but they get him in the game on senior night, his final game as a South Florida Bull, and he scores a touchdown, first career touchdown. You saw how bad he wanted it when he was fighting to get in that end zone. That's really cool. That's what college football is all about to me right there.
Such a cool experience for Helms, and great opportunity in a blowout to get an opportunity to make a memory that will last a lifetime. 8 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, as Rice has just been a disappointing night from top to bottom as Shearhorn nowhere to go. 3rd down and long coming up.
And South Florida getting some of the backups in on the defensive side of the football now as well. And those guys a chance to play, and it's been a good night for the South Florida defense. They've been swarming, being able to slow down that triple option attack from Rice, because that can be really tough to prepare for.
A reminder, Chase Jenkins, the starting quarterback for Rice, was knocked out with a potential concussion in the second quarter. A targeting call that disqualified Jalen Schuler, the linebacker for USF. This is now the 3rd quarterback of the night for the Owls. Shearhorn slides ahead, gets enough for the first down. Was hit as he was sliding, but no flags as Xavier Hamilton came in to stop him after a gain of 7.
And Sean Sullivan got him a nice block there to give him some extra space to pick up that first down.
First and 10. Shearhorn. You just see that inside leverage that all of these defensive backs have done a great job for USF, pushing the option as far out as possible, make the quarterback run as long side to side as he wants, and not give him any room to turn up the field.
Yeah, string it out and give your other defenders time to get there. And I think that one was just a broken play. Shearhorn wanted to flip it on the jet sweep, but couldn't get a handle on the snap and just had to bail it out of there and try to pick up some yardage.
2nd and 9. 6 minutes to go. DeAndre Hardman, freshman from Houston, has had a nice debut season for the Owls.
And not a bad season for Rice. I mean, after this one, they'll fall to 5-7, but head coach Scott Abel feels like they're right on track to where they want to be as he installs this gun triple option offense and tries to instill his culture. He's all about we, and for him, we stands for a few things. Win everything, win everywhere, with everyone. And when he talks about win everything, he means everything in life. He's talking about football, academics, being a good person, helping out in the community. And he's trying to install that culture here at Rice. Done a good job of it to start off in year 1.
Aaron Turner has been a very big bright spot for this Rice offense. Over 100 yards receiving. Another 18 yards rushing for the grad from Ellicott, Maryland. As they'll go for it on 4th and 5. Well, maybe they won't. Punt unit onto the field for Rice. It'll be Porter back to receive at his own 20-yard line. Alex Baqueta be punting once again. That one skips after it lands right around the 30 and out of bounds at the 20-yard line. A 40-yard punt. And the USF offense will come back out on the field for the final 4 minutes and 14 seconds of regulation. $52 points and over 500 yards of total offense for South Florida. Byram Brown. What a performance on senior night here at Raymond James Stadium. 275 yards passing, 4 touchdowns in the air, 4 yards on the ground, a touchdown with his legs. 5 touchdowns overall, and he joins an exclusive club as just the 12th player ever in FBS history to throw for over 3,000 yards and rush for 1,000 yards in a single season.
And you look at some of the guys on the list that have done it recently. I mean, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Johnny Manziel. I mean, these are Heisman Trophy winners and NFL quarterbacks. This is a great group, great club to be in.
First one to ever do it, Vince Young, Texas. Colin Kaepernick also on that list. And a big hit, an incomplete pass. Mouthpiece hits the dirt. 3rd and 7 upcoming as Roberts couldn't hang on. 52 points for South Florida. It's the 5th time this season they've scored 50 or more.
Yeah, they are just so explosive, and Byron Brown a big reason for that. And if you talk about Brown as an NFL prospect, he's being talked about right now as like a 6th round or later type of guy. I think he's a better prospect than that. If you remember, Malik Willis from Liberty got drafted in the 3rd round in 2022. I think Byron Brown's a better prospect than he was. And so once you start getting into the scouting process a little bit deeper, we'll see if he can climb this offseason. He's going to have some conversations with scouts and determine where he's going to be before he makes that decision, if he's going to go or if he's going to come back for one more year of college football.
Flag on the far sideline as Gaston Moore trying to go to the deep ball. It's Christian Helms, who we already talked about.
Defense, number 10. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Helms, who had that touchdown earlier in the quarter, the first of his 7-year career.
Now just grabbing the arm and then the arm bar, restricting him from getting to that football.
And that's my guy. That's mobility.
Yes.
Mohamed Bility getting called for the penalty. One of the greatest names in all of college football. He goes by Mo. I'm so happy that we got a chance to talk about mobility here today, who I have to assume's parents have a good sense of humor.
Yes, they must. I was hoping he was a kinesiology major, but I checked and he was not. But still, all name team for sure.
As soon as I saw that, researching the Rice Owls, that was an immediate screenshot sending to everybody I knew. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go, and mobility's got a great name, but our production crew, they really went deep in the bag this week because it's Thanksgiving, and they put together this graphic. This is the all Thanksgiving team name from the American. You got Miles Cook, Peyton Farmer, Cameron Corn Honor off the cob, Mac and Cheese Harris. Let's see, Landon, plenty of sides. Jamin Lamb, a little, maybe out of the box for Thanksgiving, but I like where we're headed with this list.
I mean that's a great name team right there. I mean, I had to do some deep digging for that one. I think Mac and Cheese Harris has got to be my favorite.
Right,
Coach Golish said Mac and Cheese is his favorite Thanksgiving side. Mac Harris, one of his favorite players. That goes pretty good.
Emptying the tank on our graphics, making sure we get to all of them.
Yeah, our producer Mike put a lot of hard work into him this week. We appreciate it.
So you send the guy home for 1 day, or two days off, and then it's like, what, I'm going to go and search out the all turkey name team for Thanksgiving. We appreciate the effort. 2-minute warning here. 4th and 1 upcoming for USF, a commanding 52-3 lead here at home. Well, we know that South Florida is going to a bowl game. The question is where. The American has some bowl affiliations around the country. It could be the Sheridan Hawaii Bowl, the Go Bowling Military Bowl, the Wasabi Fenway Bowl in Boston, the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl in Fort Worth. There's a few other possibilities as well, but we'll find out soon enough where the Bulls will play their final game of the year.
Well, South Florida went to the Hawaii Bowl last year and probably not going to go back there, though I'm sure they would love to. Right now, the ESPN projections for where South Florida will go would be either the Gasparilla Bowl right here in Tampa against Clemson or the Fenway Bowl against Louisville. And you check out bowl appearances for the first 24 FBS seasons for a program. South Florida there at 4th with 12. Pretty good standing up there with Nevada, Marshall, and Boise State.
To imagine playing at the Fenway Bowl would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, that would be my second pick other than the Hawaii Bowl, would be to get to play in Fenway. I mean, that's pretty awesome. And I think if you're South Florida, you want to play against the best opponent you can possibly get to go and try and prove yourself after missing out on the conference championship game.
Victory formation as Gaston Moore takes a knee. And taking victory as a shotgun pistol victory formation.
It's becoming
we refuse
more common
to go under center.
They're not going to risk it. These quarterbacks, there's some quarterbacks that have never been under center in their life, and their coach is not going to put them in it for victory formation. They're not going to take that chance.
To run one more play as the play clock winds down. And that will do it. The first 9-win season since 2017 and the first undefeated home season since 2002 for the South Florida Bulls as they defeat Rice 52-3 here at Raymond James Stadium.
Well, South Florida did exactly what they were supposed to do tonight. Took care of business. The defense really locked down the triple option attack from Rice, and Byron Brown and the South Florida offense just doing what they do. Brown 275 and 4 scores through the air, added 104 yards and a touchdown on the ground, joined the exclusive 3,000-1,000 club on the season. What a night for Byron Brown, and Keyshawn Singleton led the way from the receiving department with 125 and 2 scores.
553 yards of total offense. 4 different receivers catching a touchdown pass. And Savannah's down on the field with USF head coach Alex Golish.
Coach, first undefeated season at home since 2002. How does it feel to end this season on a high note and that gratifying moment of getting this win to close it out?
Yeah, you always want to finish. That's the biggest thing, is you want to finish what you started. To go undefeated at home, I think, is a credit to our students, a credit to our fans. It's obviously been really, really important to us, and that's a cool way to go finish. A bunch of guys got to play, a bunch of guys got to have some special moments, and to be able to go undefeated at home is special.
You know, a lot of seniors had those moments, one of them Byron Brown. How does a guy like that always give you a chance to win?
Yeah, he's special. He's bought into his process. He's bought into this team. I've said it a bunch of times, but if your best players can be your best leaders and your hardest workers, you can do something special. He's a special player. He's a generational talent, but he's developed into that because of how he works.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach. Congratulations. And we're going to talk to Brown next. Appreciate you. He's right over here taking some pictures with fans. We're going to grab him, hear his thoughts after finishing out his senior season. Hey, Byron, you know, coming out tonight, you heard it over the PA, entering into a really elite club, 3,000 yards passing, 1,000 rushing. To have your name amongst that group, what does that mean to you?
Truly a blessing, but it couldn't be done without my teammates, the O-line, wide receivers, running backs, tight ends. I mean, it's truly a team accomplishment. So without them, none of this is possible.
To walk off this field tonight, knowing you gave it everything you had, how do you leave it?
Man, just truly blessed. Able to finish the season out undefeated at home. So we finished, and I mean, on to the next one at the bowl game.
Appreciate it. Go celebrate it.
Thank you so much.
Savannah, thank you, Coach Golish and Byron Brown. What a pairing they have been here in Tampa. South Florida rolls to their 9th win of the season, 52-3. We wrap things up here in South Florida. What a week it has been. Thanksgiving, turkey, and football all around. For my partners, Patrick Murray, Savannah Collins, and our entire production crew, I'm Eric Rothman saying good night from Tampa. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.